A Tamil film project that has generated massive buzz with advance bookings for the film both in India and internationally being through the roof is JAILER. Nelson, coming off a complete misfire with Beast, had the intimidating task of creating an entertaining yet slick action film with the legend himself, superstar Rajinikanth. The synergy that one thinks of with stars and creators who have seen them since a young age, so it's always exciting if they can pull it off like Lokesh did in Vikram, or an unpopular opinion, Karthik Subbaraj did in Mahan. I went in for this Nelson film to be taken for a ride, and I'm going to tread carefully regarding the plot of the film as the promos have given very little away. The movie focuses on Rajinikanth's character, who I would not name for spoiler purposes, is enjoying a retired family life. His son Arjun, played by Vasant Ravi, a police officer, is cracking down on criminals and is leading an honorable life. Circumstances go in absolute disarray as a criminal, Varma, played by Vinayakan, carries out an evil plan that has a direct impact on Rajinikanth's personal life. The quest for revenge that Rajinikanth embarks upon while exploring his origin story that directly correlates to his intimidating capability forms the basic storyline of JAILER. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to go for JAILER in theaters or not. The underwhelming aspects. Tiring and unfunny portions. I can't tell you how pumped I was stepping in for the second half of the film due to the sheer high in which he left us as viewers. This was both a combination of Nelson's wit working wonders and how he staged his action set pieces. I'll explore more of that a little later, but the film really could have benefited with a more slick edit. The film is 2 hours and 48 minutes long, and post the interval there is key information that Rajinikanth requires in order to make a heist possible. This is where the characters played by Sunil, Redin Kingsley and Tamannah Bhatia get introduced, and the film takes far too long to get to the point as it incessantly explores gags that generated crickets from the audience in the theatre. This really halts the exhilarating proceedings that the first half left us with, and one can clearly acknowledge how a lot of the fluff of the film could have been done away with to get to the ultimate point. What's crazy is that Nelson has the ability to generate interest through his mass set pieces as the movie reaches its concluding moments. One just wishes he did not deviate for so long after the interval, making me conclude that the film easily could have had a 2.5 hour running time. The good. We live in Anirudh's era. It is absolutely insane the contribution Anirudh has in building hype for movies now. You can understand when the title card of Rajinikanth appears on the screen that there is of course going to be deafening cheers, but when Anirudh also gets so much love as his name appears, you know the man is living in an era where he is revered as being at the top of the food chain. Anirudh's charm is dispersed throughout the film, while Hukum is sprinkled through the screenplay and is absolutely indicative of the magnetic presence of Thalaivar as he struts through goons with absolute ease. Kavaleya is probably the most forgettable sequence of this film, and I believe it is his score and the song Ratta Mare that really leaves a lasting impression as Nelson attempts to establish Rajinikanth's family dynamic and why they are so dear to him. Sung beautifully by the way by Vishal Mishra. Anirudh's magic is in full display in the dramatic moments. I still can't get over a sequence which just zoomed into Rajinikanth's eyes as the family react in horror. The actor stays still and his eyes do the magic as a teardrop falls and Anirudh places a melancholic note. I can't stop raving about some of the first half moments, especially when Rajinikanth delivers his one-liners before the mayhem ensues. There is no denying that this is Anirudh's era and we can't wait for more. Nelson shines in parts. As you have clearly noticed that I keep on talking about the first half of the film because it essentially sets up for you to empathize and connect with Rajinikanth, his affinity towards his family and the trouble he is dealing with head on. But it is here where Nelson successfully makes you care for the ultimate goal. This is done by exploring the beautiful relationship that Thalaivar has with his grandson, the camaraderie and banter with an unorthodox right-hand man in the form of Yogi Babu, and some of the staging and transitions that really give the mass elevation of film with Rajinikanth essentially needs. If there is one sequence you will see everyone rave about with this film, it is the interval block that is truly masterful. This is where Nelson is at his finest as he includes effective comedy and style even in the most grave circumstances. He truly left us on a high as we left for the interval. Performances. Other than the incessantly unfunny and slightly confusing gags with the characters of Sunil, Tamannah, and Red and Kingsley, the supporting cast really do put forth convincing performances, but even more so, make me believe that they simply understood the assignment of the pitch at which Nelson presents his stories. Slightly absurd, wacky, yet should pack in a surprise to make you believe that the stakes at hand are serious. Ramya Krishnan as the concerned wife, Yogi Babu as the cautious yet always down sidekick, VTV Ganesh as a scared shitless psychiatrist, all of them really do bring in their A game with this film. From the supporting cast, however, two standouts in the form of Vinayakan as Varma, the main antagonist that Rajinikanth has to deal with, and his sidekick, who really has some of the most hilarious moments from the film. It's crazy that I was just talking about Thimudu yesterday and Vinayakan featured in that Tamil film as a crippled sidekick to the main villain. I have loved him in so many Malayalam movies and he really channelizes the mania that the villain requires in this movie. Integration of stars. It is a really tough task to include so many stars from different states and make sure that the screenplay stands out as a cohesive piece. But what I was glad about regarding the appearances of Shiva Rajkumar, Mohanlal and Jackie Shroff is that their purpose serves the storyline rather than just being integrated for loud cheers in theatres. Jackie is his scheming cunning best. Shiva Rajkumar has so much swagger and it is no different for the case of Mohanlal, who I believe got presented in his most stylish avatar in the last few years, versus the duds we have been lately seeing from Malayalam cinema, with him as the lead. The ease with which Mohanlal transitioned from Malayalam to Tamil to Hindi was a sight to witness, and those shades, that vintage shirt, it all just fit the bill so perfectly. Shiv Rajkumar is the epitome of effortless even in his brief appearance. The staging of his entry in the concluding moments really developed such loud cheering. Rajinikanth and why he's the GOAT. Rajinikanth is a legend for a reason. He has the ability to deliver a throwaway line with such swagger that it never in the slightest comes across as cringe. His emotional moments are the ones that stay with me though, as his sole purpose is driven by the boundless love he has for his family. When heartbreak sets in, there is a moment that he looks in the sky, shattered, and he can't help himself but laugh at the disappointment that has consumed him. A true indicator of a star who is also such a legendary actor. The beauty of the film is that while it transforms into a mostly decent commercial action entertainer, and I do still consider Nelson's Doctor and Coco to be the best from his filmography, it never gets bogged down due to the star presence of Rajinikanth. Elevates the storyline with his undeniable charm, wit and acting prowess, and it makes one acknowledge why he is considered one of the GOATs and has still got it at the age of 72. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Jailer. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.